Right now, as you watch this video, something extraordinary is happening inside your skull. Billions of neurons are firing, connecting, and rewiring themselves. You are, in this very moment, creating a memory. Not just of what you're seeing, but of how it makes you feel, what you're thinking, and where you are. Memory isn't just stored in your brain. It is your brain, constantly sculpting itself with every experience, every sensation, every breath. This is the story of how a single moment becomes etched into the architecture of your mind. Chapter 1. The Spark of a Moment. Let's begin with a moment. Imagine you're walking through a forest. The scent of pine fills the air. Sunlight filters through the canopy. You hear the crunch of leaves beneath your feet. This moment, this exact configuration of sights, sounds, and sensations has never existed before, and your brain knows it. Before a memory can be stored, it must first be noticed. This is where the adventure begins. Deep within your brain, a small, almond-shaped structure called the amygdala acts as an emotional gatekeeper. It asks, does this matter? Should we remember this? If the moment carries emotion, wonder, fear, joy, surprise, the amygdala lights up like a beacon, signaling to the rest of the brain, pay attention, this is important. Meanwhile, the hippocampus, your brain's master librarian, begins preparing to catalog this experience. Without the hippocampus, the moment would simply dissolve, lost forever in the stream of consciousness. Chapter 2. Sensory Input and Encoding. That forest walk isn't entering your brain as a single file. Instead, it's being deconstructed, shattered into thousands of fragments, each processed by different regions of your brain simultaneously. The visual cortex at the back of your brain analyzes the patterns of light and shadow. The auditory cortex decodes the rustling leaves. The olfactory bulb processes that unmistakable scent of pine. Your motor cortex registers the physical sensation of walking. Each fragment is encoded, translated into the language of neurons, electrical impulses racing across synapses. But here's what's remarkable. These fragments aren't stored together. The sight of the forest goes to one region, the sound goes to another, the smell, the feeling, all scattered across different territories of your brain like pieces of a puzzle hidden in different rooms. So how do they come back together as a single, unified memory? That's where the hippocampus reveals its genius. It doesn't store the memory itself. It stores a map, an index, a set of coordinates that tells your brain to remember the forest, retrieve fragment A from here, fragment B from there, and C from over there. It binds the scattered pieces into one coherent experience. This process is called encoding, and it happens in milliseconds. Chapter 3. The Synaptic Dance. Now, let's descend into the microscopic realm, to the place where memories are actually born. Welcome to the synapse, the sacred space between neurons. When you experience something new, neurons communicate across these tiny gaps by releasing chemical messengers called neurotransmitters. Imagine a neuron as a storyteller, and neurotransmitters as the words it speaks. When the message is important, when the amygdala has said, remember this, something profound happens. The receiving neuron doesn't just listen, it changes. The connection between these two neurons, the synapse, becomes stronger. This is called long-term potentiation, and it's the cellular foundation of learning. The phrase in neuroscience is elegant and simple. Neurons that fire together, wire together. The synapse actually reshapes itself. New receptors sprout on the receiving neuron's surface like flowers blooming. The connection thickens. The signal becomes easier to transmit. What once required effort now flows naturally. This is why practice makes perfect. This is why repetition embeds memories deeper. But if the connection isn't used, if the memory isn't revisited, the synapse weakens. The flowers wither, The pathway fades. Use it or lose it. Your brain is ruthlessly efficient, pruning away the connections you no longer need to make room for new ones. Chapter 4. Consolidation. That forest walk is now encoded, captured in the electric language of your brain, but it's fragile, temporary, held in what we call short-term memory, which can only hold a handful of items for mere seconds to minutes. Without intervention, it will vanish like morning mist. This is where one of nature's most elegant solutions emerges: sleep. While you sleep, your brain doesn't rest. It transforms. During deep sleep, the hippocampus begins replaying the day's experiences, broadcasting them to the cortex, the brain's outer layer, its vast storage archive. Again and again, like a musician practicing a melody, your brain rehearses the memory. Each replay strengthens the synaptic connections, transferring the fragile short-term memory into something more permanent. This process is called consolidation. The memory is being woven into the very fabric of your cortex, integrated with everything you already know. The forest walk becomes connected to other forest memories, to childhood camping trips, to things you've read about nature, to emotions you've felt. It becomes part of your story. And here's something beautiful. Each time you recall a memory, you're not playing a recording. You're reconstructing it from those scattered fragments, which means every time you remember something, you're actually changing it, updating it with new context, new emotions, new understanding. Your memories are alive, breathing, evolving with you. Chapter 5. The architecture of your mind. What we call memory isn't a single thing. It's an entire cathedral of systems, each with its own purpose, its own architecture. There's procedural memory, the unconscious knowledge of how to ride a bike, how to type, how to walk. These memories live in deep brain structures like the basal ganglia and cerebellum, operating beneath conscious awareness. There's semantic memory, your knowledge of facts, concepts, meanings. Paris is the capital of France. The Earth orbits the Sun. These are stored throughout your cortex, particularly in the temporal lobes. And there's episodic memory, your personal experiences, your autobiography, that forest walk, your first kiss, the smell of your grandmother's kitchen. These memories involve the hippocampus, the emotional coloring of the amygdala, and are distributed across your entire brain. Together, these systems create something miraculous: you. Your memories aren't just records of your past. They're the foundation of your identity, your personality, your understanding of the world. They inform every decision, every relationship, every dream. And the most humbling truth? This system is always working. Right now, as you've watched this video, your brain has been forming memories of it. The concepts you've learned, the images you've seen, the feeling of wonder, or perhaps confusion. It's all being encoded, consolidated, integrated into the vast neural tapestry that is your mind. You are your memories, and your memories are you, constantly being written, edited, and rewritten. A story that never ends. The next time you remember something, anything, take a moment to marvel at the feat your brain has accomplished. You're reaching across time itself, reconstructing a moment that no longer exists, from fragments scattered across billions of neurons. It's not magic. It's something better. It's biology. It's chemistry. It's the most sophisticated technology in the known universe. And it's happening inside you, right now.